cultures across the world have their own versions of this magical being, from the Ningyo of Japan to Ariel of Disney fame. Number 7. The Mermaid of Kiryat Yam. In 2009, mermaid fever swept through the Israeli town of Kiryat Yam as a mermaid was making appearances at dusk, often performing tricks for locals and tourists alike. People in the town were claiming to see a being that was part young woman and part fish. The first local to have seen the mermaid claims that she was sunbathing, and as he and his friends approached her, she bounded from the sand and disappeared into the waves. They were all shocked to discover that the sunbathing woman had no legs but a tail instead. This one sighting was not an isolated event. As word spread about the mermaid, hundreds of people came forward claiming they had seen the Kiryat Yam mermaid. The Kiryat Yam mermaid has become so popular that the town council has offered a $1 million reward for any evidence that this mysterious creature exists. So far, only passing glances have been noted, and no one is $1 million richer. Number 6. California Mermaid. This video, recorded in California, allegedly captures a mermaid doing what mermaids are known to do, just hanging out. While the video resolution is a bit fuzzy, you can clearly make out the creature in the video. When the video begins, it's sitting on a beach, casually waving its tail, perhaps resting after a long journey, or just enjoying the rays of the sun. The creature then dives into the water. After diving, it then breaches the water, and you can clearly see its humanoid torso and head. This mermaid does not share the typical human appearance that most mermaids are reported as having. Its body seems to be a grayish color, and its head lacks hair, reflecting a possible more fish-like quality than the romantic image that people often think of when they think of mermaids. Number 5. Columbus and Caribbean mermaids. Christopher Columbus is famously known for his encounters with mermaids on his voyages near Hispaniola. Columbus wrote in his ship's log that he and the crew encountered 3 mermaids whilst in the water around the island of Hispaniola. Columbus documented that the mermaids were cavorting in the water, and when the ship drew near, the 3 mermaids rose out of the water. To Columbus's dismay, the mermaids were not as beautiful as depicted in the stories of yore. Columbus thought the mermaids to be quite undesirable and mannish. Today, it is believed that Columbus and his waterlogged crew were actually seeing a group of manatee. Questions arise, however. Would a seasoned captain like Columbus truly mistake a chubby sea cow for a woman, no matter her appearance? Number 4. Mexico sightings. The caves in Mexico weren't the only ones to get treated to a mermaid sighting. This incident took place in the Kayalan Islands in the Philippines, and apparently Mermaid Melissa was not the explanation. In the photo taken by tourists, the shape of a mermaid can be seen next to them. According to witnesses, the mermaid left a very pungent smell. The mermaid wasn't initially seen while it was swimming with the tourists, but after checking photos, that was when the mythical creature was seen. Unfortunately, at that point, it was too late to try to initiate contact with the mermaid. After the mermaid left, the smell went away. Local city officials have even placed a mermaid statue on the shore, commemorating the frequent mermaid sightings that have taken place for centuries. Number 3. Zimbabwe mermaids. In 2012, construction crews in Zimbabwe were scared away from their work on the Gokwe and Osborne dams by an irate mermaid. Referred to as the Mamba Muntu by the locals, the mermaids were harassing workers as they attempted to complete construction on the dams. The local workers, raised in an area of folklore and myth, believed the appearance of Mamba Muntu to be a bad omen and refused to finish the construction on the dam. The local council, in an attempt to pursue the continued construction of the dams, hired white workers to finish the job. This was an attempt to hire persons not engulfed in the legend and popularity of the Mamba Muntu sightings. However, these workers fled the construction site as well, and they vowed never to return due to the rage and harassment of the Zimbabwe River mermaid. In an attempt to placate the irritated mermaids, local council members and chieftains decided to perform ritual rites and cleansings to allow for further development of the dams. The natural and supernatural are often of the same realm in the country of Zimbabwe. Mermaids, or just illusions of the brain and eye? Number 2. The Orang Ikan. During 1943, World War II was still raging on. The war, however, did not stop the appearance of one of the most well-documented mermaid sightings. On the Key Islands of Indonesia, Japanese soldiers had set up a surveillance team. During the time there, several members of the surveillance team reported seeing a small humanoid figure in the water with spines on its neck and head and a mouth like a carp. The mermaid figure was often seen playing in lagoons and near the beach shores of the Key Islands. The Japanese soldiers were bewildered by what they were seeing, but after speaking to the natives, they learned that a mystical mermaid-like creature was actually a known entity called the orang ikan, or human fish. As sightings continued, a sergeant with the group, Mr. Taro Horiba, was invited by the indigenous people of the island to see what they had caught in their fishing nets. Upon arrival at the village, he entered the chieftain's home to find one of these creatures splayed out on the floor. Horiba described a small body with red-brown hair, spines along the neck, a humanoid face with a lipless, fish-like mouth full of needle-sharp teeth. Mr. Horiba was confused and shocked by what he saw and urged zoologists to investigate after the war. No one believed any of his stories of mermaids on the Key Islands. Did Mr. Horiba see a true mermaid, or was this a simple misidentification? Number 1. Active past mermaid. In 1967, British Columbia became a hub of mermaid excitement when a mermaid was spotted lounging on the shore of Main Island. Ferry riders that evening saw a blonde woman sitting on the beach shore. She was topless, had long blonde hair, and the tail of a porpoise. Some witnesses became very upset as they believed they saw the mermaid eating a salmon raw on the beach that day. After the sighting by the ferry passengers, the mermaid was seen one more time the following week. As the locals got swept up by the spotting of this mysterious mermaid, the town locals began to seek any information relating to her. The town newspaper, The Colonist, put up a $25,000 reward for the mermaid. Arrangements were even made for the mermaid to have room and board once she was found and successfully acclimated into the town setting. Although many believed that this entire mermaid sighting was a charade, there were still many who believed that what they saw was real. Is the Main Island mermaid a myth or a well-played tourism ploy? The world will never know. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking